Hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have a good time together studying a little bit about the cult of Muhammad. All of us, we knew that Muslims, they claim, as their prophet claim, that he went up to the heaven. But if we like search a little bit in the internet, we will find Muslims, they have images of their prophet flying a mule. And you will see in the images that there is wings. But all my life, I'm studying this cult. I never saw any resource, any books, and I'm talking about Islamic books, speaking about wings. No wings. Muhammad never mentioned the wings. Hadith never mentioned the wings. Not a single description mentioned wings. And you know, I challenge any Muslim to show me that I'm wrong. If there's any Muslim, he can show us. I will be happy to see that happening. So where the wings is coming from? You know, when you are a person who make up a story, and you did not give us details, then ideas will start trying to come. And this is what Muslims do. Muhammad, he gave them a house which is in a very terrible shape. His details is funny, silly, and doesn't make sense. So the Muslims, they try to fix that wall which is full of holes by putting their mud there. And this is one of the muds the Muslims they come with, that Al-Buraq, he have wings. If we ask any Muslim in the world where the wings is coming from, do we have any Muslim here to help us? Where the wings is coming from? Nowhere. So why you come with the wings? So the answer is very simple. Hello, the prophet, he went to the seventh heaven, so the donkey must be flying with the wings. So they added the wings, even though their prophet never mentioned wings, never even mentioned that the donkey was flying. 6, and Allah, you can get it from Amazon, my friend. So Muhammad, he never mentioned such a story. And then if we go to the stories which is mentioned in Islamic books, which is approved by Muslims, we will find the following description. There's many hadith, by the way. I mean, we can read as many as you want from them. All of those, they are speaking about the same story. And we are happy to quote for the Muslims whatever they want. But if we start from the first hadith here in the top, when you search the search engine, it says, I was brought Al-Buraq. Al-Buraq is coming from the word thunder. Thunder, Al-Buraq. In Arabic, we say Barq, the lighting, you know. So obviously, this Buraq is given a name because he's very fast. But look what it says. Who he is an animal. He is an animal. He described him as an animal. And this animal is longer than a donkey, but is smaller than a mule. So this animal is white. And you need to remember always, when a description is given, there is a reason. Why the animal is white? I mean, why it's not black? Why it is white? Muhammad is coming from a racist culture, and he himself is very racist against a black color. If you remember, Muhammad, he said clearly that Shaitan is black. The one who will destroy the Kaaba is black. In the judgment day, Allah will make all bad people like me black, and will make all good people like the Muslims white. And now he is receiving an invitation to Allah in the top of a flying donkey. There's no wings. It's just a donkey. But this donkey, it is in the size between a mule and a horse. It's not too big. It's not a mule. You know, it's not between the size of a donkey and a mule. It's not a horse. And this is white animal because simply Muhammad is going to heaven, and only white are allowed to enter heaven in Islam. He is longer than a donkey, but is smaller than a mule. And you will notice here the hadith mentioned the hoof of this donkey. And here you ask yourself, if Muhammad was going up to heaven, what does hoof have to do with that story? You know what I mean? And you notice here the place of his hoof, a distance equal to the range, like how big this hoof is, how big this donkey. I mean, you just told me he is between, he's smaller than a mule, bigger than a donkey. When this mule he walk, he have a certain way of jumping or walking. Okay, was this mule jumping to heaven or he was flying? When you speak about his hoof, obviously Muhammad, he did not go really to the sky, because obviously the hoof of this animal is used in the trip. He was kicking with his legs, with his feet, if we can say the word feet. And you will notice here it says, I mounted it and came to the temple of Bayt al-Maqdis. Okay, so the same mule took him to Jerusalem. The same mule took him to Jerusalem. Where Muhammad was going? To the sky, or he was in the ground? If he is in the sky, then why he describing the movement of the hoof? And as long Muhammad, he was riding this donkey, or let us say this animal, who took him to Bayt al-Maqdis. How come Muhammad did not describe anything between? I mean, imagine, okay, Muhammad, so he was riding in the ground, and this donkey was like, each time he kicked like 100 kilometers. But in order to do that, you have to jump in the air. And you have to jump very high. So the story here is very weird and very funny and doesn't make any sense. And then you will see that when he arrived to the temple, which is the temple of the Jews, and Muhammad occupied it, and now they took it and they claim it for themselves, the same as they do with Hagia Sophia. The gang religion, the thief religion, they occupy your land and they take your churches or your temple and they make it Islamic. When he arrived to Bayt al-Maqdis, which is the temple of David, he tied his mule with a ring. And look what it says. It says this is a ring used by prophets to tie what? To tie Al-Buraq. But this is mean that Al-Buraq was an animal who take prophets to that place. And in the door, there's a ring, and those prophets, they tie this mule to it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like if you see old buildings, you will see like they put a ring in the wall. So when somebody come with his horse or his donkey, he tie it with it, you know. And this is like old days. You find it everywhere. Next to any house or door or a store, they have rings outside so people, they can tie their donkeys or their horses. Used by the prophets. If we ask the Muslims, who is the prophets who use these rings? They have no idea. So why you are saying to us it's used by the prophets? Who is the ones who use it? Muhammad, when he went to the seventh heaven and he went to Jerusalem as he claimed, he found all the prophets are there. All the prophets of Allah waiting for him in that, they call it Bayt al-Maqdis. which is very funny for Muslim to use that word, Baytul Maqdis. You know, Bayt is an Aramaic word, Maqdis is an Aramaic word, both mean holy house. Why Allah is using Aramaic language even to describe the Kaaba, to describe even what is in heaven. Al-Baytul Ma'mur, Bayt is an Aramaic word. Al-Kaaba is a Bayt. But this is stolen from the Aramaic and the Hebrew, like Bethlehem. Bethlehem, you know, I mean, if you go right now and search in Israel how many cities they start with the word Bayt, you will not believe it. This has nothing to do with Arabic. Was Allah an Aramaic? Or he's a thief? When Muhammad, he went to the seventh heaven, he described that when he went to the house of David, which Muslims they claim it that it is their own, he found there all the prophets waiting for him, and the Messiah was one of them. Who? The Messiah. How many prophets were waiting for Muhammad there? 124,000 prophets. How many? 124,000 prophets. If you notice with me, it says there is only one ring and there's only one donkey. Muhammad, he mentioned that this is a donkey he used to go there. But it says there that this is a ring used by previous prophets. Did they use different donkey or the same Al-Buraq? If we go to different hadith, we will find that Muhammad confirming that the prophet waiting for him there. Let us show some reference. Muhammad saying, when he arrived to the house, it's called Baytul Maqdis, the holy house, they are asking him, people they start asking Muhammad about things there. I mean, okay, as long you went there, tell us what you saw there. Muhammad could not prove anything of what he mentioned. There's people, they went there before him. And Muhammad, he said, they start asking me about things, about Baytul Maqdis, about things which I could not observe. Why? You went there. You see how Muhammad got busted? When he started telling his people that yesterday he went to Jerusalem and he visited the place, people they start asking him, okay, tell us what you saw there. We went there before you and we know what is there. Can you tell us? Muhammad's excuse is, I was asked about things pertaining to Bayt al-Maqdis, which I could not observe, between two brackets, in my mind. What? So you were there, but you cannot describe it? He was there, but he cannot describe it. So Muhammad, he could not describe anything about where he been. And people, they start laughing at him. And look what it says here, I was very much vexed. He was very sad, very upset. He could not prove anything. They ask him questions, you've been there, okay, tell us what you saw. What? Nothing. Nothing. Or what this guy, he said, he saw a ring in the wall, he tied his donkey, he went inside, he saw Moses, he saw Isa, he saw the prophet. What you saw, what else you saw, he don't know. Isn't it obvious that Muhammad is a fraud? And then, brother, Allah has raised it. Oh, no, this is a different story. Allah, He left up all of Jerusalem to the sky so Muhammad can see it. What? Allah raised it before my eyes. I looked toward it and I gave them information about whatever they questioned me. I also saw myself among a group of apostles. They are there. Yes, brother. I saw Moses saying a prayer, and I found him to be a well-built man, as if he was a man of the tribe of etc. I saw Jesus, son of Mary, even Jesus was there, offering a prayer for all men. He had the closest resemblance of Urwa. Jesus, he looked like Urwa. I saw Ibrahim. I mean, we go back all the way to Ibrahim. Abraham is there too. Okay, all those prophets, are they dead or they are alive? As I know, according to Islam, all the prophets are dead except one. His name is Jesus the Christ. They call him Isa. So what do you mean you saw Ibrahim, you saw Moses, you saw... Are they dead or not? And then Muhammad, Allah, He take him to heaven, and then he see the same people again. So are they in the house of Bayt al-Maqdis in Jerusalem, or they are in heaven? The story even get funnier and more stupid. From Ibn Abbas, he said that when he went to Jerusalem, he found all the prophets there. Let us see if we can find the hadith. Let us translate to English. You will see here it says, he found all the messenger of Allah, all the prophets of Allah are praying there behind him. Click, translate to English. The translation is not coming correct. He found the prophet, Ajma'un, all the prophet, with no exception, they are praying with him. Do you see it? Which God gather all his prophet to pray there. Do you see it? Okay. How many prophet? 124,000 prophet. Everyone, he have a donkey. And we have one ring. And we have one house. And yet not a single person who was living at that time in Jerusalem did not notice either Muhammad or the 124,000 donkey or the 124,000 prophet, including Abraham and Moses and whatever. All the prophets were there. Imagine a small city, Jerusalem right now. Imagine there's 124,000 people gathering around Al-Aqsa. Nobody saw them. Nobody witnessed such a thing. Only Muhammad saw that. The story even gets funnier and more complicated. Muslims are not even sure if Muhammad, he went up to heaven first and then he went to Jerusalem, or he went to Jerusalem and he went up to heaven after. Why? Because Muhammad, he is a fraud. He contradicts himself. If we go back in the hadith here, based on the story here, Allah took him first to Jerusalem. Based on another story, Allah took him first to heaven. Which one happened first? This is what happened when you have a false prophet who claims something does not exist. When Al-Buraq brought to Muhammad, the Buraq had a saddle on it. And Muhammad, he asked Jibreel, this is all for Muhammad, which means him? Jibreel, he said, by the Lord, there is no one more honorable to your Lord than your Lord than him. Him? Aren't you talking to him? Who's talking to who now? He said, then he started sweating badly. What is that? Muhammad, he got dirty before he go to heaven? Remember, Muhammad, before he was taken to heaven, Jibreel, he cut his stomach, he took his, his liver, his kidney, he took his heart, he took his, everything out, and he washed it with the water of Zamzam. And now Muhammad is, the second Muhammad is going to heaven, now he's sweating again. If you read the story about Muhammad was taken to heaven process, you will notice something Muhammad, he said, maybe many of us did not give it attention. Let us find the hadith. Here we go. Until now, we did not talk about Muhammad where he went, because this is the final destination we're going to reach. But look how Muhammad, he tried to fool the fool. That's why I say always, if a fool like Muhammad can fool you, how fool are you? Muhammad described that before he go to heaven, Allah, he did a plastic surgery for his chest and his belly. 3 angels, they came. And they put him in the floor, and they did the following. They took him beside the well of Zamzam. Among them was Jibreel. He took a charge on him. This is the Dr. Jibreel now. Jibreel cut open the part of his body, between his throat all the way to his testicles. And he took all the material out, the screws, the nails, the material of his chest and his abdomen, and then he washed it with Zamzam water with his own hands till he cleaned, or he cleansed the inside of his body. And then a gold tray, a gold bowl full of belief and wisdom was brought. Full of what? Of belief and wisdom. Here we learn that in Islam you can install wisdom. It's just a mechanics thing. You open the stomach of somebody, or what you need, 2 dishes, 1 dish of faith and 1 dish of wisdom, and then they stuff it inside you. So in this garbage religion, the Muslim, they say to us, Islam is scientifically accurate, Islam logically accurate, Islam is makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense that there's a prophet, he got his faith in dishes. Remember Muhammad, nobody saw him. Even his wife, she said, he was next to me. He did not move. He was next to me all day long, all night. He's in bed. Muslims, to solve this problem, they say, Allah, he took him by his spirit, but not his body. So if Allah will take him by his spirit, so why he is doing this plastic surgery for his chest